Well, Gareth, first of all, how are preparations going ahead of the big game against Wrexham on Thursday?
Yeah, excited. It's under the lights on Sky. Can't wait for it. It's going to be a big game, and this is why you're a footballer. This is why you're in the game for moments like this, for games like this. It's it's exciting. There's obviously the noisy neighbours. They're coming to a crowd meadow, and we don't want to make it easy for them. We want to make it difficult for them. So we're preparing to put a plan in place, but also we're very aware of where they are in the league. What players they've recruited, what they are in this league. They're a very powerful side, and spent a hell of a lot of money getting where they are. So we're going to have to be at our best to compete with them. But again, we've done it before. We know what we can do. I've got total faith in my boys, and really looking forward to this game. It's going to be my first sort of cross-border derby with Wrexham, and I know that's big for the fans. When I walk around the town, a few of the fans are just saying, just as long as you beat Wrexham, and I know they don't mean that, I know they take survival or anything, but I know how much this game means to them, and we'll be giving it everything. Believe me, I'm a little bit hoarse this week already by trying to get the boys in shape for what will be a fantastic night.
Yeah, big crowd expected as well, which adds to the occasion, doesn't it?
That's great, yeah, no, the fans have been great, honestly, they really have. We had at the Cambridge game away, some real frustrations at the end of that. Totally understood that, and it was my job to pick everyone up and get everyone going again, and I'll say that over the Christmas period, they were brilliant, even away at Leyton Orient. The fans at the end, the way they were singing, the way they saw the effort that the boys had put in, and our run came to an end. But thank you so much. It was a really nice moment. Almost a hair-tingling moment when you're thinking they understand, they know where we are. It's not going to be easy, this, I tell you, but we're going to give it everything, and that's the big thing. So turn up in your droves, because I know you're proud of your team, and I'm proud to be manager of your team.
Wrexham are flying high, they're pushing for promotion, they're in third at the moment, but the fact you've beaten Birmingham City at the Meadow already since you came in, do you take something from that when you take on another one of the teams at the right end of the table? Yeah,
you've got to, but we don't want to keep looking back to Birmingham. It was a great occasion, but you can't rest on that laurel and keep saying we did that. It's the future, it's always the future. I can't be saying we're not looking backwards and then keep looking backwards. I'm looking forwards. We're looking at Wrexham, we're looking what we can do. They're a very strong side. They've got some household names in their team. They've been linked with ridiculous names, achievable for League One. I heard Patrick Bamford come out the other day, and Michael Smith and people like that, and I'm thinking, wow, a League One team, what it does is it really elevates League One to such a brilliant level, and we're in League One. I want to stay in League One because, once you start talking about those sorts of names coming into your club, wow, you're a big club, and we will do our best to compete with Wrexham. I know Phil well. We've had many battles over the years, managerial battles, and he's a tough competitor. So looking forward to seeing him, but also I'm looking forward to seeing what my boys can do against Wrexham.
Since we last heard from you, Gareth, there's been a couple of departures from the football club. You spoke about Charles Sago Jr. returning to Arsenal last week, but now two more departures. First of all, Jordan Rossiter, you've allowed to go on loan to Oldham Athletic.
Yeah, Jordan wanted first team football, regular first team football, and he said to me, he's been, since I've come in, he's been right behind me, but he's only played a handful of games, and he said, look, I'd rather, especially what he went through with his injury history and his career, he wants to savour every single game and play every single game he can, and he had an opportunity to do that at Oldham, and so you've got to allow this to happen sometimes. I think replacing him will be tough, but we'll get on that straight away, and that was the reason really. Jordan wanted regular football, and I've got to be fair to my players. I said when I came in, and it's a transfer window, so Jordan is happy. We exchanged some good texts, and hopefully he'll do really well at Oldham.
And Josh Coyote returning to Rotherham?
Yeah, Josh was again really tough for him. He's been injured majority of his loan. He's missed so much football. It was really tough for him, and I felt he would be a risk to keep. At the current deal we were doing with Rotherham, it just it wasn't fair on Josh. It wasn't fair on Shrewsbury. I thought that we needed to We need to get him back to Rotherham. You know, see what can happen there. But it's a terrible one for Josh, because he really wanted to show me what he had, and honestly, he only had a handful of games to do that in. And because we were playing well, you keep with your strikers at times. You know, I think John and George Lloyd had done really well, so his minutes were limited. So really, to show me what he could do was tough for him. Even in training, you know, he probably only trained 2 weeks since I've been here, and that's tough. But it's also football, don't you? And you know, you've got to understand that sometimes. Yeah, with the injuries that he'd picked up here, we felt that you know, him going back to Rotherham again, maybe a fresh start for him was the best thing for Josh.
That's 3 departures then in this month so far. Fans will want to know: are you close to bringing in new players potentially?
Yeah, Harrison Biggins has returned from loan from Carlisle, so there's one in there, you know, and that happens sometimes, you know. He's come back in the building, so I've met him this morning for the first time in person, and you know, Harrison looks like he's up for the fight. He wants to contribute. You know, it was a chaotic window for him when he first came, and then was loaned out in the same window, which is, you know, very, very rare in football. So he's come back with a bit between his teeth, which I like. And of course, there's 1 or 2 more in the pipeline. I'm not going to mention who they are and not say where they are or what positions, because, you know, until it's on the dotted line, then you know, you've got to be careful. But you know, there'll be some changes in this window without a shadow of a doubt, you know, and we've said that. But again, I'll reiterate where we are in the pecking order in the food chain. It's really difficult to bring players to Shrewsbury Town, and we're trying very hard, and we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying to do the best for the club. But yeah, it can be tough, this window. Not just where we are in the league, the location, the geography. The January window is always the one where, you know, you should be doing 1 or 2, not 5 or 6, because, you know, that means the summer window hasn't gone too well. If you're doing too many in January, and it's never a great window to do too many in. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what we can bring in, but I'm not sure it'll be the end of the ins and outs yet. We'll keep you posted. Yeah,
Harrison Biggins, how's his loans gone generally at Carlisle? They're clearly having a tough season.
Yeah, they're having a very tough season, you know, and again, you know, players sometimes thriving under different managers. I'm hoping that Harrison will thrive under me. He's definitely, looking at his footage, not my type of player. He covers ground, he's very physical, he'll put a tackle in, he's not scared of doing that, you know. So listen, if Harrison Biggins shows good form in training and good form in game time when he gets, he'll be a part of what we're doing going forward, without a doubt. You know, he was brought here with all good intentions and purposes to play for Shrewsbury Town, and so far he hasn't, and I intend to change that. I'm sure he's going to get some minutes in the first team.
Is there a possibility of a signing ahead of the Wrexham game at all, do you think, at this moment in time?
Absolutely. There's always possibilities to sign at any time. You know, I always say right time, right price, which is, I keep reiterating this. You know, the money that this club is taking to run. You know, the chairman is very generous with this, and has been over the many years he's done. But like I say, it's unfair to try and ask him to inject the cash of Ryan Reynolds and the American investors that come into Wrexham. You know, it's not fair. So it's just where we are in the food chain and the pecking order, and we have to wait for some things to happen further up the food chain before we can get what we want. And I'll be doing that. I'll be working as hard as I possibly can for Shrewsbury and to bring the best players here. But again, it's tough, but it's nothing I haven't faced before. You know, I've always said here, long-term success. That's the big plan. That's why I came here, and I guarantee that will happen. It's just a little bit of short-term pain, and we all know that.
This is a time of year where there is a lot of speculation. There's reports linking Carl Winchester with a possible move to Derry City. Is there anything in that, Gareth?
Yeah, Carl himself is you know, missing his family over there. You know, there's reports of that out there, and I know what that's like. I can empathise with that big time. But you know, at the moment, it's just talk. It's just a few little connections here and there, and people put 2 and 2 together and get 5. We'll see how that goes, you know. But you know, one thing's for sure, I'll look after my players no matter what, and I'll be fine with with whichever way they go, as long as they're happy people. You know, it's really important to keep your players happy, keep the squad in a really good place. And yeah, of course, there's not many secrets in football. They do get out somehow, and we'll keep you posted on the Carl Winchester situation as well.
As it stands, though, is he likely to be available for Shrewsbury on Thursday?
Yeah, Carl will be available for Shrewsbury for Wrexham on Thursday. Yeah.
And reports now about Tom Bloxham, possible interest in Tom. Blackpool have been mentioned. Of course, he scored against Blackpool on New Year's Day. Again, is there anything you can say about this? Is there any interest in him?
Listen, I think that if people weren't interested in Tom Bloxham, then I'd be surprised. He's done really well over the years he's been here. You know, he's a threat. He's a quick player. He's a ball carrier, and they're things that I love in my team. Yeah, I'm sure that probably not just Blackpool are interested in him. That's the reports coming out at the moment. Again, we'll see where that one goes. But you know, Tom's done really well for me, and I rate Tom as a player.
Is he a player you'd ideally keep, because he has been having a good season, hasn't he? He's been scoring goals and been involved in many of your better moments going forward.
Yeah, again, that comes probably, you know, there's a board here, a group decision of what it would take probably to get Tom out of here or to get him to stay. But you know, those things, you know, down the line, yeah, there's just interest at the moment, and we'll see where that goes. But yeah, Tom's done really well for me, and I'm not surprised there's interest in him.
In some ways, is it an unwanted distraction for you as manager, preparing for an important game on Thursday? Or are you quite philosophical? This is what happens at this time of year.
This is football, you know. I've been through it many times. I've been the subject of it myself. You know, transfer rumours when I was playing, which, you know, those days were great. So I understand what the players are going through. It's exciting for them, but I also understand what the fans will be going through and what the board and the chairman will be going through. You know, making decisions on you know what's best for Shrewsbury Town. But as I say, it's really tough, because we are a club that is one of the small ones in League One. Everyone knows that. That's no breaking news. And if bigger clubs start being interested in your players, it's always worrying as a manager. But as I say, it's football. It's what happens. What I will concentrate on is the players here. Especially for that Wrexham game on Thursday, and getting the best out of them, because you know, that's my job.
Just to clarify with Tom, have you got to the stage where there has been an offer made to the club for him?
I'm not going to disclose any information on that yet. Yeah, no, the rumours are out there, and it'd be amiss of me to start stirring or inflaming them rumours anymore.
Fair enough. In terms of availability for Thursday, how are you looking in terms of injuries, and have you got a strong squad, lots of options to pick from?
Yeah, we're pretty good on the injury front. You know, that's one brilliant thing at the moment. You know, there's not many in that treatment room, and I know that called upon, most of the boys will play through that little bit of pain for me, and they have done in recent weeks. You know, it's been no, you know, there's no secret that Aaron Pierre went through an illness for me the last game, you know, and probably looked a little bit tired and a little bit shot towards the end, and people carry things in football, you know, that's football in general. But touch wood, at the moment there's not too many in that treatment room, and hopefully it can stay that way.
As always, thanks for your time, Gareth, and all the best for Thursday.
Cheers, Danny, thanks.